Get started. All right. Okay, let's see here. All right, good. I appreciate everybody being on here tonight. It's a very special night for us, being able to have one of my best friends. I love this lady like she's my sister. And she and I have been best friends for over 2 decades. And we've traveled all over the world together, working the It Works business. And she's one of the main doctors that's helped me in my journey to getting my health back. And if we don't make it, I don't take it. And so I had my blood work done with the company we've merged with, and my markers come back 95% perfect. And all I had to do is increase some iron and citrus fruit a day, and now they're in the 100s. And so, Dr. Burns, would you like to touch on that to start with, and then we'll get going?
I think that's just a testament to the years of and decades, like you said, decades of putting the right things in your body. It really does make a difference. Sometimes we think, oh, why am I taking these greens? Or, why am I taking these products? And because sometimes you don't like see the difference with your greens, but your body is changing on the inside. Or I'm thinking about like the new timeless, what's happening at the cellular level that you may not see right away, but your body is changing. And so that's one way you can really see the difference is when you get your lab work done, those numbers don't lie. And so, yeah, I mean, I had the honor and pleasure and watching and being part of your story for the last 2 decades and seeing your health transform before my eyes. I mean, I'm just looking at you right now thinking, dang boy, what are you doing? Yeah, you look
Well,
amazing.
um, I'm not saying this to brag, and all of us have the ability to make a decision. You can make an excuse or you can make a decision to get it right. And I'm going to tell you, and we're going to teach you how to build all in tonight a multi-million dollar business. You have everything you need because you have you. And when you make a decision, what Dr. Burns and I have done for my own personal health, and I'm going to tell this quick story on Dr. Burns. She and I went to, we were in Calgary, and I went to, what was the coffee place's name, Dr. Burns?
In Calgary
Yeah.
or the um
Tim Horton.
oh, Tim Hortons, Tim
Yeah.
Hortons. Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I forgot my coat, and it gets really cold over there. It is in October, and we ran into the coffee shop, and we drank it. I smelt these oatmeal raisin cookies. My grandmother made those, were my favorite on the farm before we left Virginia. And I said, "Oh my God, there's them cookies!" And I could smell them and I could see them. They were very big. And I said, "God, that's my favorite." She said, "Go get you a cookie." I said, "Why can't I be cheating?" And she said, "No, no, you wouldn't. We're drinking this great coffee. I still drink Tim Hortons at home." And she said, "Go get the cookie." I said, "Kane, it'll be cheating." And she looked at me dead in my eyes and pointed her finger at me and said, "Go get the damn cookie and eat it and sit here and enjoy it." So she went and got me 2 big cookies. And I sat there. You'd have thought I found out Santa Claus was real. I enjoyed that as much as I've enjoyed anything in my life. But that's when I'm first starting this journey to get my health back. And through the years, all I've taken is It Works Global Products. And I got one more. Dr. Burns has my blood work and my records, and all I needed was like to eat some more red meat and go figure red meat and a citrus a day. So I took it up to the doctor that does my physicals every year. I haven't had an aspirin for a headache in 20 something years. I hadn't been
Wow.
sick once. I don't take shots. I don't do whatever. I just put the It Works products in me, but I'm real consistent. I don't miss it because I'm never going to go do chemo or radiation again. I'm never going to. When I fired those doctors, my health got in line. And I'm not telling you to do what I did. This is my story. But when I took my blood work up to show it to the doctor that does my physical every year, she said, "Oh my God, how did you do it?" I said, "Well, I can help you." And I said, "But here's why I really came." When I got on my run for my health, she said, "Yeah." I said, "I fired the rest of them. And I started taking care of me. And I got off of medications. And I started really taking care of me one day at a time. I become tactical about my plan of action. And when I become tactical about my plan of action, I knew it wasn't going to be all in a month or 90 days. I had to get totally committed. I had to make the decision. But my why was very strong. It was my wife, and then my two daughters, and now my granddaughter. And so I'm still tactical. I still love feeling good. My drug is exercise, and my other drug is It Works Global Products.
Mhm.
I don't plan on getting any drugs in me ever again. And I told him, if I fall off of one of the horses and break my leg, you can set it, but you'll never have my general health. She said, well, why did you come? I said, I didn't think I would ever get to do this twice in a lifetime. She said, yeah. I said, you're fired. I'm not ever coming back to see you again. Now, that's just me. That's my story. But with this blood work, I suggest to everybody go get it. So, Dr. Burns, thank you for helping me become tactical in my health, for being there when I needed you. And now we're going to go somewhere we have never been, and It Works Global. It's already coming to pass because everybody cannot go where we're going because their dreams aren't big enough and they never become a true product of the product. Therefore, when you become a true product of the product, you don't have to sell anything. And tactical means strategic. You have to have a strategic plan of action. I call it a priority plan of action. And that's how I live my life every single day. And when we do that, that's how I sleep great. I don't have to take any medicines for many years, and nothing tastes as good as I feel. So, Dr. Burns, come on and share your heart with us about where we are, where we're going.
Yeah, Rusty, I just love hearing your enthusiasm, and you're so consistent. And that's what it takes. When I think about even where the company's going, you get your hills and valleys, but you stay consistent. And that's what I see the strength of this company is that it's consistent, and it's like consistency, but it's also the culture. Everybody can have products, but we have that special, we used to call it like Mark's special sauce, but there's just something, I believe it's like God's favor that's on this company. And so it's really, when you think about like the vision of where the company is going, I look at like, where has this company been, and what have we been through, and what have we overcome? And every single time we're like, I mean, in quote Mark, he says, they're going that way and we're going this way. And every single time we come out like way more than we ever could have dreamed that this was going to be. So, like, I can't even imagine what they have in store for us over the next 2, 3, 5 years. Um, so what are you thinking, Rusty? How are you feeling about it?
When I talked to the president, our new president, along with John and Mark, it's going to happen quicker than you think. And we're going back
Mm,
to the glory days, but we're going to create a new set of glory days. And so I had some people to call me. I'm going to go ahead and throw this out there. I didn't tell Mark this yet, but I'm
mhm.
telling him tomorrow. I had a company call me this week. They offered me $110,000 a month guaranteed for the next 36 months if I would leave Mark. I said, really? I said, but I didn't create my story with an average product. My story is on this product line, and therefore I'm not for
Mm,
sale. And 110,000 bucks a month is not a lot of money. Not when they try to put you up for sale.
mm,
And I said, I'm not for sale. I ride for the brand because the brand saved my life. That'd be like me leaving my wife and my kids. No, I've been with her 47 years. Ain't going nowhere. But where
mm.
we're going to go now, can you mute those people? Thank you. Where we're going to go this time is going to be a run like you've never seen. And I've been here 24 years full time. No other, no other sources of income other than investments and other things that I own. You don't need another source when you do it right the first time. But here is it. The tactical part is you want to know what the secret sauce is to building your business. Now, I didn't lose the 500 and some pounds in a month or 6 months or 2 years. It's taken all this time of consistency and commitment to get it done, but I never quit. And now they say I've reversed aging on the inside by decades. I was supposed to die 22 years, 23 years ago. They gave me
Mm.
6 months. And I'm still here, but I got consistent and I got the fight in me. And when you get the fight in you, and you get committed to your product, and you get committed to changing your mind, changing the bad habits. And it's nothing more than just a decision. And I had somebody else, the Lord moved me, and you've never tried the products and God moved you. No, you're about the money. That's why you've done 10 different things. I've only done one. I've never done any other direct sales companies, just one. I don't plan on ever doing another one, because if you do the first one right, you don't have to do another one. And you can make any excuse in the world, but, and I'm going to be honest and adult with you, you can't hope nothing into existence. If you're sitting on your ass just hoping and you're praying and asking God like you treat him like he's a genie, that's not going to happen. If you're praying, and I put a one in the chat if you've ever prayed for your business or you prayed to get better. If you're a person of prayer, now my father was a minister. Everybody in my family is ministers except me. Well, so when you ask God and you're praying for that, you know what you're saying? God, I need change. What you're doing is praying for the change, but you're going to have to get involved in the change. You're going to have to get more adhere to putting the right stuff in your body, taking care of your temple. I got convicted about it. There's certain foods I'll never put in my body again, because if I ask God, like, God bless this to the nourishment of the body, and I know it's laden with sugar and seed oils, that's not going to nourish your body. I'm
Mm.
not praying blessings over that, because that's using God's name in vain. That's what I told a group of preachers just the other day. They got upset with me. I don't care. It is the truth. And when you make up your mind, I'm going to do this thing right one time, because we only got one life to live. We got one body, and you got to take care of it. I've had the chemo and the radiation. I've had the medicines in me. I'm not doing that any longer. And I'm not going to keep making excuses why I can't get committed to not getting it done. I ain't going nowhere yet. Carla, you ain't seen nothing yet compared to where I'm headed. And I'm telling you that because I want you to follow and becoming tactical in your own health and watch your
Mm.
business begin to grow. And it creates the authenticity of who you really are. I don't care what they're saying about social media and everybody's got to have a funnel and click. They're just trying to recruit you into some other deal. When you build integrity with authenticity, and you can show your before and afters, and it don't have to be as drastic as mine. It could be you drink one cup of Skinny Brew, you felt it. That's your story. And I love to see Lisa on there. She's there every day with her reels and the stuff she's doing with her coffee, and it's consistency. Therefore, she's building integrity. And Rachel, they're building integrity because why? You're showing up every single day. You're not trying just to make a sale. You're trying to impact somebody's life. If you can impact one person's life this week, you won. You won. Pointing them in the right direction. If you're just leading with giving them some hope that I'm going to do it, but you got to show up every day. It's kind of like being a husband for all these years, or daddy to my two daughters. Has it been easy? No, I got two daughters, but I love them unconditionally. Even when they got 12, 13, and 14, the hormones started raging. I'm still their daddy. I wasn't going nowhere. I love them. But here's what counts. When you start to take care of you on the higher level, everybody else will follow what you do, not what you say. You can sell and talk. And that's what's wrong with people now in direct sales and everything else. You're trying to sell for the money. Get out of the money game. Get in adding benefits and value to other people through your story. You know what's going to begin to happen? They're going to follow you anywhere you go, because your integrity supersedes who you are. And it's what the other people say about you when you show up every day, because it's you feel, you see the value in you, but you want to become more valuable. That means you're becoming an asset to your family, to your business, to your future. And it all comes through in having a strategic plan of action, tactical. And every night before I go to bed, I drop a plan of action for tomorrow, for exactly what I'm going to do to take care of me physically, for what I'm going to put. I'll lay it all out tonight. And when you start to lay it out tonight and you help other people succeed, prove me wrong. I'll write you a check for $1 million if you prove me wrong. I'll have Craig, my accountant, to fly right to you and hand it to you. If you create a plan of action and you become the best version of you, there's absolutely no way you cannot succeed when you get committed to it. Once you get committed to your future, you start to become a person of impact, and you will become the asset of your family. Okay, Carla?
Hmm. That's right. So, as you're speaking, I'm thinking about becoming and being and like the integrity and authenticity that you're talking about showing up. So, I mean, you can talk all day long. And like you said, you can talk about the products, you can share the products, but until you're actually a product of those products consistently over time, sharing your own personal testimony, now you are being. So you're when if you think about something and you're like, "Oh, I would love that in the future," or, you're praying for something to happen, you have to become what that is, that thing that you're trying to do or the thing that you're trying to achieve. And so the only way that you can be or you're taking that action is doing the things. So you can't just say things, you have to actually become that thing. And that one thing is taking those products every single day, building your own story so that when someone asks you, when they say, well, they don't want to know what the ingredients are. Like, I would say one out of every 999 people actually want to know what's in it. They want to know, what did it do for you? Tell me what it did for you, because then I will know, oh, okay, that's what it will do for me. How did it help you? You can't tell them the truth if you are not a product of the product. You're going to be lying and they're going to know.
Absolutely. Therefore, you become a glorified salesman. They call it. John Addison said, just like a used car salesman or an insurance salesman, if you sell used cars or insurance, I ain't putting you down. But if you become the real CEO of your life, what she just said, that's how you become strategic and tactical. You lay your stuff out and you put the right things in. See, I didn't been to that other side before. I ain't never going back. And I think after 22 years of having no meds, not even an aspirin, I'm not saying I can't get sick, but I bet you I don't. I'm gonna tell you something else. When you get into, I love to exercise. I like to ride the horses. I'll run every day. I'm back into powerlifting, and once you get your lymphatic system clean, and Dr. Burns can back this up, I've not had to wear like deodorant in like 6 years. There is no smell through the clogged lymphatic system. It's clean. Now I work at it, not for that particular reason, because that's like my drug. I feel so good and empowered when I do it. But here's why I do it. Well, number one, I do it for me, but I don't want my poor wife. I've been this girl all these years. I don't want her to ever have to take care of me again like an invalid. And so as you get older, one thing I love about the blood work, they say they can tweak me every so often, and I can live well into my 100s vibrantly. That means no old age homes, no laying around in a recliner waiting to die. That I'm gonna still be out getting it at that point. And if you start feeling this good, you become the priority. And when you become the priority in your life, look at the impact you're having on the rest of your family, on the people that are watching you. The people say, wow. And I have people at my health club tell me he's the most consistent guy here. If you want anything as far as getting healthy, you see him. Ah, Carla, I got you a really good one. I got a call from my congressman tonight. We're working
Mm.
on some local issues. I told him about what happened with my blood work. He just become my customer and he's going to get his blood work done tomorrow. And then he
Oh my gosh, see? Yeah.
so if he hadn't have seen what I've been doing,
Mm-hmm.
not bragging on me. If they ever tell you you're going to die, what you're going to do is, I wish I would, and I had to slow up. No, no, no. Disease and sickness and illness don't slow up. It don't care what your deal is or what you got going on. And Christmas is coming. The disease will jump all over you. Sickness will jump all over you. Now you can become the warrior and make up your mind. You're going to fight him, and you know what? Disease won't jump on you. When you alkalize your body, and I learned this from Dr. Burns and my grandmother, which is a full-blooded Cherokee, never got sick once until she was 96 in my lifetime. But once I learned to alkalize with the super greens, and I do more than a scoop a day, some people say, well, that's expensive. I said, try getting sick one time and your medical bills run up into the millions of dollars and you have to pay 800,000 out of your pocket. Try that
Mm-hmm.
one time. I would rather prevent, because every day you live and you feel great, not offer some new product, no, something that's tried and proven it really works. That's how Carla and I have become successful in the last 20 plus years, is because we followed success. How do successful people do it? How do the mega millionaires and the billionaires, how do they operate their business? They show up every single day. But here's the key that I learned. It's what you don't see those people do when ain't nobody around that makes them highly successful. I've never heard one complain nor whine. Carla and I were at the ranch at the Mark's book signing when we were raising money for pediatric cancer. And all those people there, no complainers, no excuse makers, no nothings. They're 100% all in at any given time. That's the kind of people that you can depend on, that's going to tell you the truth and point you in the right direction, that will help you become successful. And so when you can make one difference in one person's life, you won. Small wins compounded every single day over the course of time, compounds every day, if you understand compound, will create monster wins. And that's what we've achieved in all these years. And right now we're headed for the biggest win we've ever had in my 63 years of existence. Would you agree with that, Dr. Burns?
Absolutely. So, I mean, the things that we've got going on, man, I can't wait to see. I mean, what is this? I can't believe we are almost at Christmas. Can you imagine this time next year?
No, no, I can't.
Yeah, so for those of you that are on, it's the holidays and people get busy, but I always say the way you end the year is how you're going to start the year.
Well, you know what? That's exactly the truth. How you end today, well, how you start tomorrow, how you end this,
Mhm.
how you start next week. And I'll challenge you in a year from now, put in the chat where you really want to be, and don't be soft on you. If you're really leaning on yourself, that's a lack of commitment. If you want to be at whatever level, whatever income, just put it in the chat. Let's verbalize it to everybody here. Dr. Burns and I, we were in the Millionaires Club in the first 42 months, but 10 of our team was with us. And
Mm.
Dr. Burns and I, we are on the same team, but not in the same downline. When it doesn't matter. If you're helping somebody in networks become successful, and in my chats, there's a lot of people from other teams. Guys, I love all of you. I don't give a daggone whose team you're on. If you're in networks, you're part of the brand. You're a cousin. We're having a family reunion here. And you mess with one of us, you're going to get us all. And when you start to put that and you verbalize to other people where you want to be, and then see, ain't nobody on here the greatest, not me, not Dr. Burns, not none of y'all. We all have our own unique specialties and gifts. But when we collaborate and come together, we've become a very powerful force. You can't reckon with it. Here's how I know. Here's how I know. 24 years, I ain't had to do nothing else. When I walked away from 1.2 million a year at the bank, I wasn't going back if I had got a job on a trash truck. I wasn't going back there for all the stress and the pressures and the time it took away from my two little girls, which are daddy's girls. They're grown today. Wasn't happening. And we upped our game. And I put the same amount of effort, professional effort into this as we did at the bank. And it paid off. The first month, we built a team of 635 people in 128-day span. We hit large double diamonds. I made just right at 10,000 the first month. And people say, I wish I could have done it. Well, you can. Work 20 hours a day, work the time zones. And now you got all these other countries you get to operate in. But you got to see you as the CEO, and you got to see you as valuable. And when you see your that value, what constitutes your value? When I look around at my wife, my kids, my little granddaughter now, I see you guys. I watch Lisa's her daughter, and she's making these reels with her mom. It's just cool as it can be. And you see in all these people, that's grooming your family for a big future to take your business over and become part of it later in life, because you're already groomed for it. It's going to be second nature, and it's just nothing more than a decision that I'm going to do it. I don't care who says what, where, when, how, and why. No, I'm not a quitter. You know why? One, I'm going to tell this story, and some of you've heard it before. When Mark and I shook hands before when I joined. He flew here to North Carolina, and we agreed we would never lie to each other, the good, the bad, and the ugly. 90 days later, after my first month, he called me and said, I told you I never lied to you. I said, yep. He said, we're broke. I said, what does that mean? It means we ain't got no money. I said, yeah, I know what it means. I'm a former banker. What you gonna do about it? I thought he's gonna tell me I'm sorry. Go back to the bank. He said, I told you that I was never gonna lie to you. I sold my house this morning, a quick sale, so I could pay you, and my commissions in. Carla was like $12,800. He sold his house and FedExed me a check, put his family's way of life on the line for mine. I ain't forgot that. I believe everything he tells me. He ain't never lied to me. A man that has that kind of integrity and honor, I'm with you forever, man. You got to shoot me to get me away from there. And so, what he's planning for us now to where you're going to go, you're in a better position than I was when I walked away from the bank when we first launched this deal. And I want to tell you, one thing that makes me happy and excites me is to see other people succeed on a level they never thought they could. That's when we come together as community. We work hard to support each other. Everybody has a different gift, and all those gifts that we have, as you merge them together, that's what makes a great team. That's we expect to win the Super Bowl every year. We expect to win the Pro Bowl. We expect to win at everything we do because we will never stop. We're engaged at it. You know why? Because I love to see other people succeed. I don't want nobody to ever be sick like I was. And the fear that runs through your family, and not knowing if daddy's going to wake up in the morning or me as Robin's husband going to wake up tomorrow. I owe that to my family. I owe it to you guys. Every day when I get up and I'm out there getting it, which is like my drug, I love it. I'm thinking about the team. What can we do a little different? What can we do better? How much more consistent can we get to help you achieve it or to give you the confidence that you need to go to that next level? And once you gain the confidence and you make the decision and you become tactical, that means strategic. That means tonight before you go to bed, you'll write out exactly your plan of action. I call it the POA, plan of attack. As soon as you wake up in the morning, you know exactly what you're going to do, when you're going to get it done. And you don't go to bed until Carla, how many nights back in the day did you and I do three ways all the way up to midnight working the time zones on the West Coast?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, like
Mhm.
I remember every single Sunday night, that's for sure. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. Well, see, guys, that's what it takes is we're collaborating together. That's what makes the team better. So without you, we have a hole in the team because you're different, you're special, you have a gift that the rest of us don't have. That's each person. And here's what I really believe is I believe God Almighty, the day your father's sperm hit your mother's egg was not no accident. That was plan and purpose. There's nothing more than a fertilized egg going down your mother's fallopian tube, and God Almighty tossed in your gifts. This strategic toss in for you. The day you're birthed into a blueprint. And that blueprint was with the gifts that you possess to help other people to become a great community, a great team of people that's working together for the good of others. And that's where we are right now. So where we're going, some of these other people could not go with us. They didn't have what it takes. So God is going to groom you for your blessing. How many of you prayed for all this stuff to happen and all of a sudden things just got really hard for you? Put a 3 in the chat. If it just, I prayed for it, but then all of a sudden it got hard. You know what? That means your blessing is on the way, but you're not quite mature enough for it to happen yet. And God is going to groom you so you don't waste your substance when you get it. Most people can make $1 million this month, and by December the 25th, you wouldn't have nothing. You've not been groomed. You have to be strong enough to handle that kind of blessing. And when you start to handle blessings on that particular level, he starts to give you more. And the more you give, the more you get. It's not the go getter, it's the go giver. It's the person that has the ability to go out and make a difference in somebody else's life. Lionel Richie wrote a song back in the 70s. You got to have love in your heart, to have heart in your love. And I look at that like random acts of kindness. I'm big on where I come from out of the mountains of Virginia, the fourth generation, firstborn, great grandparents, grandparents, parents, and then me. I'm older than some of my uncles. And the random acts of kindness is yes, ma'am. And some people don't like you to say yes, ma'am anymore. I'm sorry. You're not going to take what's important to me away from me. And I'll always stand and hold the door for a lady every time. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. It's my pleasure. And you do that because it's a sheer respect for the next human being. It's called random act of kindness. It's the small things that compound you forward to the next level. And when you make up your mind, this is who I am, this is who I'm going to be, and I cannot be bought. I'm not going to sell out. And I'm not going to blame Jesus because I sold out. It's not going to happen. I saw some of that today, and people call and say, I'm sorry. Hey, look, I hope y'all make $1 billion on this deal. Just stick with it this time. And I'm not saying that to be rude or mean. It's just, I had a lady the other day at my health club, and I'm finishing up trying to get the last little bit of warm, come down cardio. And a lady started talking to me, and I said, yes, ma'am. And she said, ma'am. I said, well, yes, ma'am. I said, I even do that to my wife and my dog. And she started giving me marriage advice. I said, wow. And she mentioned 2 other people's names. I said, well, how many times have you been married? She said, 4. I said, well, ma'am, not no disrespect. Why would I take any marriage advice from you? You done it 4 times and you couldn't get it right? She said, well, are you married? I said, yes, ma'am. I said, how long? I knew she was going to ask it. I said, I've been with the same girl going on 47 years this February the 17th. She said, how'd you do it? I said, never quit dating my wife. I send her flowers every week. I write her a handwritten love note and I mail it to her. I don't just go hand it to her. I mail it to her. I want her to know she's as special today as she was the day I've met her and fell in love with her. And I told you that story to tell you this. That's exactly how you operate your business. People are just that important. Don't stop the basics from where you are, from where you're going. You stick right with it. It don't matter what you're going through. God is taking you to another level as long as you show up and you show up with integrity and you show up with intent and you're trying to learn and grow to the next level. God will, Dr. Burns can attest to this. When you pray for blessings and you say, give me 5 gallons, God, when you start to live life on that level and just in total gratefulness for where you are every morning, that's part of my rituals and my journaling. God don't send you 5 gallon buckets of blessings. He sends you train car loads of blessings. You have to have dump trucks to get them off the train cars to bring them into your life. But you're mature enough to handle it. There again, I'm going to say this one more time. I'm going to throw it back to Dr. Burns. It's the go giver that makes it happen, not the go giver and getter. If you're always worried about your money, your fists are closed, the law of reciprocity states it's a biblical principle. If I come into your life and help make some of consequence happen, it just reciprocates back into my life. So everybody wants to happen now. You want everything to happen now. You want to lose 300 pounds now. Well, how long did it take you to get there? You want $5 million now. Well, you can't handle it now. And it takes the course of time. So that is the learning process. It's like going from the first grade. Why didn't they put you in the 12th if life was this easy? Because you wasn't mature enough to handle it. So whatever you're going through right now is grooming you for where Dr. Burns and I are telling you you're going. And what did you say, Dr. Burns, in a year from now? What's it going to be like? You want to elaborate on that?
Right, exactly. First, I just wanted to make a comment because I was listening, and every time I hear you or like the top leaders in this company, there's always one thing in common. And we are a company, we do sell products. But at the end of the day, those that are successful are really more about the people. Like it's all, whether it's your team or the person that you're talking to, your customer, that new distributor, you're more focused on their potential and their, what's important to them. So you're putting that person first. And it is kind of like the Go Giver. I love that book, by the way. I've read it probably about 5 times, but that's what it's all about. It's like taking you out of the situation. People get disappointed because you've set an expectation and you have some idea of like, well, this is how it's supposed to be for me. And then you're not really thinking about that end person. And so that's where that disappointment comes in. But when you think about like, where are we going as a company? We want to reach more people. Like John said, we're going to have, we will have touched. He didn't say we're going to sell 1 million products. He said we are going to change 1 million lives. Those are people. So we're talking about reaching more people's lives. So that's what I would want to leave you with is make that shift in your mind. You're not selling products. Yes, you're going to offer what people need because it's going to be different for everyone. So it's not even like I have this one product that's like the product of the year. It's not about that because each person is going to have their own special need. It's about that person. So if you can shift your mindset towards helping more people, listening to what they need, you are going to have everything you need and more than you could even imagine.
Well, every one of us is the product. Is which tools out of the arsenal do we have that do you need to become a better product of who you
Mm,
want to become? Every day you got to strive to become better because you got all those gifts. You know, the richest places on earth. Have you ever been to one of the richest places on earth? I'm sure all of you have. It's the graveyard. It's where people go and they let their dreams die because they listen to other people. They listen to people that habitually quit. If you're going to be habitual about something, be habitual about taking care of yourself. Give them good habits going. But the graveyard, most people never took the box and the bow off the lid off the box. All the dreams and all the visions and all the greatness and the gifts that God gave you. You never even tap in to use it because in today's society they've programmed us as to where we're so worried about what other people think. Ain't nobody think about none of us until they need you to show up and point them in the right direction or make a recommendation or you're able to effectively tell your story. So right now, we're all working on is our story. Now, how do you want your story to be? You want it to be a blockbuster or you just want to be average? You want to take most of the gifts you were born with right on to the graveyard. That's a decision. That's a tactical decision, a decision you made to be average and quit and stop putting the right amount of time into things that's going to create a bigger, better future for others. You've just secured your future. How do I know? That's all I've done for 24 years. That's all Dr. Burns has done for the 20 some years she's been with us. Is we put ourselves in the service of other people. And we know one thing is a biblical principle. You will always be blessed in direct proportion for the quality of efforts expended helping somebody else become better,
mhm,
lending them your hope, lending them your faith, pointing them in a direction of things that you know it's going to change their lives because it's changed your life. And once it ain't like we've been here 6 weeks and God just moved me again to drink this Kool-Aid powder. It's all about the Kool-Aid for some of them nowadays. And that's okay. He put me here to be a rock. He put me here to be a warrior. He put me here to be the alpha wolf, not the coyotes, the wolf. If you read about the wolf pack, they're the most loyal animals on earth, period. Go read about them. And if you take on the mindset and the loyalty of a wolf, you never go anywhere. You'll just continually go after this. And once you
mhm,
continue to go after something that's worked for you, oh, it's not been easy all these years. There's ups and downs. And every time you hit a low point, you know what's happening when you hit the low point? You're maturing back up or you're training to be the next level again. And then you're going to used to get like climbing Mount Everest. There's people that train for it, and some people don't train as much, and then they die on the way up. But you know where the majority of the people died that climbed Mount Everest? On the way down. They got to the summit, they got up to the top, and they thought they had arrived. And all of a sudden, they got to go back down the mountain. There's more people die going down Mount Everest than they do climbing it. And you know why that happens? Because they let their expectations down, they let their guards down, they started getting easy. I've made it. No, you catch the next mountain, you keep climbing, you keep training. I have an uncle that was in the Navy SEALs, and all the stuff he's told me they went through, a lot of people didn't make it. They had to tap out. It got too hard. He said the biggest thing they had in the SEAL training was in the mind. You can't
mhm,
listen to this weak body. You can't listen to the people that are quitting. You become a strong mind. You're the next mega superstars in direct sales. You're the next CEOs of your entire life. You're the next highest respected people in your family. That when your kids look at you, they believe in you. I swear to you. You can ask Dr. Burns. If I call my daughters right now and said, y'all get over here, I can walk on water. I'm going out back in the swimming pool. I'm gonna wait. They're going to be over here just to see if I can do it. No, I can't walk on water. but they know when you say something, you're going to honor your word, not just for today, not because it benefits you, and because it benefits the entire family. And when you show up to fight on that level, and every day is going to be a struggle, it's going to be a fight. Are you going to be a weakling and tap out and give in? Or are you going to be the warrior to step up and step out and continue to take it to get stronger? I've never seen anybody that wanted to be weak. But I've seen a whole lot of people that want to be strong, but they're not willing to do what it takes to get stronger. You got to go in there and you got to put the work in. Is it going to be easy? No. Is it going to be hard? Yes. Are you going to get stronger? Yes. You're going to become more confident. The stronger you get, the stronger you want to get. But the influence and the impact you're going to have on other people is going to be astounding. Carla, you want to end it up for us?
Hey, you know what? I just oh, yeah, thought I lost you there for a second. Just oh gosh, it's just always I love getting on these calls with you, and it's just you've always been an inspiration to me just because of your journey and watching and seeing, like you said, I know you. I know your life has not always been up. We've all been through the ups and downs, and with your health, and even the business has seasons, but you stay committed. And look at you now. I mean, I don't think people on this call realize what the state your health was in when I first met you. And to see you now, I'm so proud of you. And it's just it's so inspiring to me. But that again, that's what it is. It's all about being that product of the product so that you can not only take control of your own health, but you're inspiring other people. You don't know where people are at right now. You don't know what their health situation, what their financial situation is. And you could be that one person in someone's life that is giving them that little spark of hope. And 20 years later, here you are, or here they are, completely changed their life. So you just never know.
Well, I want to ask you one more thing, folks. If you really want to change your physical health, put a 6 in the chat. And I'm going to tell you a secret. If you really want to go to the next level in your business, put a 7 in the chat. This is a fact. Carla, I had a Zoom with the people that you've got my records.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 63. Kevin and I are the same age. All the hard work is paid off. I'm in the, let's see, they said I was in the 0.5% of the healthiest men in America because of my blood work. Has it been easy? Dr. Burns knew me when I was wearing a 77 size pants. I'm proud to tell you 32s are too big on me now. Never thought that would happen. It's been hard. I've worked my ass off. Has it been worth it? Absolutely. Dr. Burns, she knows my family very well. When I got my little granddaughter on the horses and I got the lead rope and we're riding down the river, me and her just talking and she's saying, "Wiki, wiki." I don't know what that means. It means something to her. And we're riding up and down the river there and we're just talking. I'm in utter state of thankfulness. I'm saying, God, thank you so much for creating a warrior in me. Thanking you so much for Mark Pentecost coming in my life when he did. Thank you for all the people that's in my life now, the blessings that you've blessed me with. And here I am with my little 3-year-old granddaughter. I'm doing crazy stuff at my age. And I've been so sick, I couldn't have never got on a horse. And they couldn't have carried it. I'm not saying that to be funny. But now I'm living life like I did when I lived on the big farm in Virginia in the mountains. But now I'm doing it with my granddaughter, my daughters, my wife, and don't have to worry about nothing as far as being sick or whatever. So this is what I believe. If you make up your mind to become the healthiest version of you, I'm talking about in the 0.5% of the healthiest people in America, there's nothing can stop you except you. If you kick the excuses out and you make the decision to become tactical, and when you become tactical, you become strategic. It's just kind of like if you have a job, they put you on a schedule. You know when you got to be there, when you can take a break, when you can go to the bathroom, when you get the next little break, when you can go home. But you got to be back tomorrow, and you're trading time for dollars. I got really sick of the time for dollars. I did very well in banking, but I have been very poor in my life to where I couldn't even feed my wife and my little daughter. I'm talking about I know what it's like to have no food for 3 days, the lights turned out, and don't know where you're going to get the next, and you just keep fighting. All that back then was nothing more than a preparation for now. All the hard stuff you're going through is nothing more than a preparation for where you're going. It's making you stronger, but it's making you more thankful for where you are. But it ain't where you are. It's your fight. It's where you're going. If you want to go somewhere you ain't never been, you're gonna have to do something you ain't never done. And when you start to live life like this, there is not any alarm clocks in any of my homes. You cannot come here with your watch beeping. I'll say, take that thing off. I don't live by other people's times. I live by mine. And when you make up your mind that your time is the most valuable time in the world, it's with your family, the people you love most, you're going to be the best version of you because your family is going to do what you do, not what you say. If anybody can get on here and say what I just said, except I got 24 years in this deal. I've been near death. And to be able to fire my last doctor that she can't give me any more physicals, and I'm not saying it to brag. It just made me feel good that we have something here that once you start to take care of you on that level, you don't need that bull any longer. You don't need to be hooked on the medications any longer. I'm a former big investment banker. The last deal I did for the bank was $7.5 billion. I took over the municipality of New Orleans in their investments. Trading time for dollars and listening to those people who's going to keep us sick and hooked on that stuff. In America, I'm all about the facts. And I'm not telling you to quit your medicines, and this is just me talking. We should be the healthiest nation on earth, except we've been lied to. They don't want you taking all this stuff because it puts them out of business. And I'm being just honest. This is what I believe. And so here's what I can prove. I'm just talking about me. If I hadn't as sick as I was, and Dr. Byrne remembers, if I hadn't had to have an aspirin for a headache in 22 years with zero meds, if we don't make it, I don't take it. I think I'm on to something here. And all I want to do is share that with you. And the lifestyle that's created for me and my family is unparalleled to anything I've ever seen in the history of my life. And it's going to put you in a position to where you get to live life on your terms and you're going to start to enjoy life. But if you don't go through any hard to become stronger and you're not pushing yourself to become stronger every single day, you'll be just like the herd. And like Carla said a while ago, Mark used to say if the herd's going to the left, we're going to the right. We're going away from the herd. Anybody can follow the herd. It's really crowded down there. But when you get up here and it's rare air, ain't many people up here. See, you want to run with the chickens or fly with the eagles? I was headed to Calgary, that very same deal. And the pilot told me, he said, look down, there's the eagles. And that's going over the Rockies when we headed to Calgary, Canada. And those eagles are way up there. And he said, not another fowl on earth can fly that high, which I already knew that. But it made me think, I want to be up here where I can see everything and it's not crowded up here. There's a lot of room for you eagles. So stop, get out of the chicken pen, stop eating what the chickens eat. You know what they peck in. Yeah, we had a big farm, 5,700 acre farm in Virginia, family farm. I saw what the chickens peck in. Now, I love eggs. But every time the preacher would come to the house on Sunday, it's whichever one of them chickens got caught first and got his head wrung is fed the preacher Sunday dinner. But you know what? I ain't never been to the meat store or to anywhere and said, give me an eagle breast. Eagles fly too high for that. That's only chickens. Guys, I love you. You matter to me. Carla, you got any last couple words before we end this thing?
No, you know what? I just feel like holidays are coming and it's just time to really, spend it with your family. We talked about this when we first got on that we had, losses in our families. You just never know, like one day to the next, and not taking anything for granted and just, use that time, have fun with the families, but then know that 2026 is just around the corner.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you this. I don't care whose team you own. If you need anything, you reach out, message us.
Mhm.
You're welcome to any Zooms, any chats I have. You're 100%, all of you welcome. And we'll do what it takes to help you get there. but I want you to become tonight. I want you to write this down. I'm going to become tactical. I'm going to become strategic. I'm going to create my plan of action tonight before I go to bed. I know exactly what I'm going to do in my business tomorrow. I know exactly what times I'm going to be in the gym working out. I know exactly what supplements I'm going to take as soon as my feet hit the floor. I know in a few minutes I'm going to drink a half a bottle of Timeless because I like to get that young feeling going on. And so when you write all that stuff down, you become more tactical and more strategic, but more disciplined. And if you're prepared tonight before you go to bed with everything laid out, you won't run to and fro in the morning. You get right up with your plan of attack and you're on your way to making it happen. And I'm going to tell you what, that does more to change who you are, but who you're becoming. It's those small wins every single day, those small disciplines. The first thing I do when I get up is I make my bed. Boom. Brush my teeth. Boom. There's 2 wins right there. And before I do that, for the first 30 minutes, I'm talking to God Almighty. And I'm in the attitude of gratitude. So just, do you have running water in your house? You have hot water? Really? There's people that don't. Is your house climate controlled on all the levels? You have a refrigerator that freezes stuff and it's got all kind of water deals in it. You have infused water and it's climate controlled as well and it keeps all your stuff fresh. Think about the simple things in life. Do you have a warm bed? Nice quilt that your grandmama made you a lot of years ago? It's those simple things that we just take for granted. If you didn't have them, think about right now. If you didn't have that, how would you feel in the morning? What would life really be like? You touch a switch and all the lights come on. And you have sensors. When you walk up, all the lights come on around the house. I don't care if it's a stray dog or a deer or what, it comes on. Just think about the what you have right now that somebody don't have. Could you see when you woke up this morning? Did you have 2 legs to get it? They were going to cut both of my legs off. That's Dr. Burns. They ugly. I still got them. They healthy. But now I can run and I can walk. Hey, I am so grateful for that. I don't have extreme lymphedema anymore. Uh, it's the simple things that we take for granted. If you didn't have it, how would your life be? So tonight, before you go to bed, before you even entertain the thought, write down everything you're grateful for and then create that plan of attack. And when you create that plan of attack, you start to attack your day and you attacked it with, you're attacking you, but you're creating your story that's going to impact so many other people. And when you become a person of impact, you're going to touch people all over the world. And in 24 years, we'll have the same Zoom, but we'll have to have Zooms that hold thousands of people.
Mhm.
It's not a joke. That's where we're headed. And it'll hold thousands of people. But you can't wish your way to no kind of success. You're going to have to work your way to it. So anybody told you anything different, you get on this click funnel, we'll just let AI do it for you. I'm going to be honest with you, that's horse shit. Become the authentic person that builds relationships and you'll be in business forever. Do you know how I know? That's how I've done it the last 24 years. And I'm not saying some of that stuff don't work, but don't you want people say, hey, Lisa, I appreciate you. Thank you for sharing that with me. Rachel, thank you so much. Or you pick up the phone and say, hey, thank you. What can I do for you? I had the customers I called today, my customers, they said, well, you got something, you got a sale? I said, no, I just want to call and see how you doing, man. Just let you know I appreciate you. Everything good with the family? You know what that does to build your business? It's not about the business because I genuinely care about those people. And when you start to do that, become a professional. Because I'm going to tell you this, and Kevin can vouch for me because he and I own fractional ownership in some banks. Those guys at the top that make those 7-figure salaries, Kevin, are they picking up the phone calling their people?
You know it.
They call in the people, hey, how y'all doing? And you know what that does? Gets you referrals, but a good, strong, solid referral because you're building a relationship because what? You care. You're not like the insurance salesman or the used car salesman. You actually care about the well-being of that person and their family. And when that begins to happen and people trust you, I don't know, where do you want to go? At that point, you have no problem picking up the phone And I had a guy to call me the other day, and I want to tell you this, and I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go to Virginia here, Kevin. As soon as I leave here, I got an uncle that's very sick, and he called me today, and they said, "Aren't you tired of harassing your friends and your family?" I said, "What are you talking about?" I knew where he's going with it. He's trying to sell me a funnel for $799 a month. I said, "No, I ain't tired of calling and talking to him. Well, I want my friends and family to be healthy too, like I am." I said, even in your funnel, you're gonna be getting in communication with somebody. I said, so that stuff don't fly over here. Go sell that to somebody that's not willing to work, that hopes something like that's going to happen. You can't hope your way to success, folks. You're gonna have to build your way to success. But I'm gonna promise you, when you get there, you're gonna be a person of integrity. You're gonna be a person that says, "Wow, they do exactly what they said they is going to do when they said they was going to do it," and you're going to start to show up. And one thing you won't do any longer. Put a 10 in the chat if you want me to tell you what you won't do anymore. You'll never make another excuse as to why you can't get it done, because why? You're going to be tactical and you're going to be strategic. With a strategic plan of action, you cannot lose. It's impossible. That's what the military uses, and we have the strongest, greatest military on earth right here in America. Can't nobody beat us. Guys, Dr. Burns, thank you so much for being on. I love you like a sister, and all the 2+ decades that you and I've been running together, it's been the best. And thank you for your help and all my hot spots and rough journeys. And when I call you about silly stuff and you'd help me out, thank you so much for that.
You bet.
So,
Thank you
guys,
so much for having me on. Good night.
I want y'all to know one thing. I truly, when I say this, if I didn't, I'd tell you the other one. I truly do love you. You do matter to me. And until tomorrow, make this the best night you've ever had. Get your tactical, strategic plan of action in place. And let's attack tomorrow like we've never attacked it. And let's set this industry on its ear, because that's what's going to happen. It'll happen with us. It'll happen without us. I just want you guys to go with us. Y'all have a good night.